I want to take a moment today to provide an update on the recall that was issued in July from Silk and Great Value plant-based beverages due to listeria contamination. I will say that with the investigation concluded, that I'm prepared now to speak to the initial findings from the Inspector General's report, as well as to talk to the next steps forward in the process, given the finding of the Inspector General's report, I should say. In the first order, this was a tragedy. This was any time as a result of problems in the food supply, there's death. It's entirely unacceptable, and so it's imperative that we shut any deficiencies and understand what went wrong. CFIA has put out a statement that's available now, as I understand it, on their website. I'm not seeing anybody contradicting on me that, so it's now available on their website. As part of the recall investigation, again, that recall taking place in July, we found a couple of things that were important. The facility in question, in the first order, was not adhering to Health Canada's policy with respect to listeria. That obviously was unacceptable. The factor to consider here is that the facility more broadly was producing juice and iced tea as well as plant-based products. That those plant-based products, the best science at the time, had stated that it was a low risk for listeria. In fact, in 2022, the CFIA had completed a 3-year survey of plant-based milk alternatives and found them to be at low risk. But just because something is low risk is not an excuse not to be adherent to those policies, and is certainly brought to be evident here that the science can change. And what we think is safe may turn out not to be. And as it turns out that our concerns with respect to listeria in plant-based products, it flips the board and makes us realize that we have to be much more vigilant and that that is a vector of risk that was larger than was scientifically understood at the time. I want to say that this is also providing an opportunity to say to all companies the importance of adhering to Health Canada's policy, not just when an investigation occurs, but in between investigations. And that's exceptionally important not only for the safety of Canadians and the food they consume, but also, frankly, for the companies and for the goodwill of the companies and for the value of those companies. When they are not adherent to Health Canada policies, and we have an incident of this nature, it does enormous reputational damage to them. Canada is known to have one of the safest food supplies in the world. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is known to be one of the strongest agencies in the world in protecting food supply. And when you don't adhere and you have these kind of incidences, it not only jeopardizes human health, but it jeopardizes that essential reputation. I will say the Inspector General has already begun an initial review of the circumstances surrounding this recall and to identify risks that could lead to similar incidents. The President of the CFIA will further direct the Inspector General to lead a review of manufactured goods establishments, including those producing plant-based products, to ensure they comply with the Safe Food for Canadians regulations and follow Health Canada's listeria policy. Furthermore, we will ensure and verify that CFI delivers its plan to inspect those remaining manufactured good establishments that have not already been inspected since coming into force of the Safe Food for Canadians regulation. There will be a report on a number of the consumer complaints received across establishments that will make recommendations on how CFIA can use this information to improve risk assessment modeling that will inform future inspection frequency. And that includes now, as I have to reemphasize, plants that we thought were low risk. Plant-based products we didn't imagine listeria would be present as that science has changed. With that, I'm prepared to take any questions folks have. Being no questions, thank you so much.